So today we'll be starting with our session 3 on marginal costing. Earlier we have done the first session and the second session, wherein in the first session I have explained you the formulas and also have worked 5 problems, and in the second session we have worked 4 problems of 14 marks and 6 marks. And today in third session we'll be concentrating on the previous year question papers. So 14 marks and 6 marks questions. Okay, so in 14 marks question, today we'll be working out our problem number 10, which is a 14 marks problem and which is asked in the year 2019. Okay, in 2019, they have asked you this question for 14 marks. So the question says, from the following details, calculate the PV ratio, variable cost for 2 years, and then BEP, sales value, profit, and so on. So what is the information given to us? The information given to us is the year, sales in rupees, and also profit in rupees. Okay, so here they have given it as 2017 and 2018. So in 2017 the sales is 1,20,000 and 1,40,000. Profit is 8,000 and 13,000. So with this information, they have asked us to calculate. The first thing is the PV ratio. So when they give only the sales and the profit, we know we have to take the formula for PV ratio as changes in profit divided by changes in sales. Changes in profit divided by changes in sales into 100. Now, changes in profit is 13,000 minus 8,000, which is 5,000. Then in sales is 1,40,000 minus 1,20,000 into 100. So here we get 13,000 minus 8,000 is 5,000. 1,40,000 minus 1,20,000 is 20,000 into 100. We get PV ratio as 25%. Okay. The second thing, that is A, they've asked you to find PV ratio. B, they've asked you to find the BEP in sales. Okay. So for BEP in sales, we need the fixed cost divided by the PV ratio. The fixed cost is not given. So whenever we have to calculate the fixed cost, we need to use this formula, that is sales into PV ratio minus profit. Okay. So here let us take any one year. We will take the first year, that is sales is 1,20,000 into PV ratio is 25% minus profit of that year is 8,000. So you can take 2017 or 2018, but if you take sales of 2018, you should take profit of 2018. But you will get the fixed cost same only. 1,20,000 into 25% is 30,000. 30,000 minus 8,000, you get the answer as 22,000. So this is your fixed cost. Okay, so PV ratio we have found. We have also found the BEP in sales. So to find out the BEP in sales, we need the fixed cost and the PV ratio. So we have found the fixed cost as 22,000. Now applying this formula, so fixed cost is 22,000 divided by PV ratio is 25%. So you get a BEP in sales as 88,000. So BEP in sales is 88,000. So I have worked it here. So 22,000 is the fixed cost divided by PV ratio is 25%. So your BEP in rupees is 88,000. Okay. The third thing they have asked us to calculate is profit when sales is 1,80,000. So what is the profit when sales is rupees 1,80,000? We know that for this, the formula is sales is equal to fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. So fixed cost is 22,000. Desired profit we need to calculate. Sales they have given it as 1,80,000 divided by the PV ratio 25%. So when we cross multiply, we get 1,80,000 into 25% is equal to 22,000 plus X. So 1,80,000 into 25% we get 45,000 is equal to 22,000 plus X. So when X is taken to the other side, we get 45,000 minus 22,000, which is 23,000. So what is this 23,000? This is the profit if you have to earn this is the profit to be earned if the sales is 1,80,000. Same thing they have asked you the other way, where they have given you the sales and they have given you the when sales required to earn a profit of 12,000. So that is, we need to find the sales when profit is 12,000. So I said for both the formulas are same. So sales is equal to fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. So sales here he has given you as 12. Sales required to earn a profit of 12,000. So here we have okay. So we need to find the sales. Fixed cost is, we calculated it as 22,000. Desired profit they have given you in the question as 12,000. The PV ratio is 25%. So here sales is equal to 34,000 divided by 25%. So sales is rupees 1,36,000. Okay. So apart from this, he has also asked us to calculate the MOS, that is margin of safety, for the year 2018. Okay, so here margin of safety, that is E, margin of safety for 2018 he has asked. So MOS is equal to profit divided by PV ratio. So profit in 2018 is 13,000 divided by PV ratio is 25%. So you get the MOS as 52,000 rupees. 52,000. The last thing what he has asked you is variable cost for the 2 years. 2 years. That is 2017 and 18. So let us calculate for 2017. We know the formula for variable cost is selling price minus fixed cost, or we can do the method as just show you. So selling price plus variable cost is equal to fixed cost plus profit. So we'll take for 2017 selling price here is, or sales is 1,20,000. Variable cost we need to find. Fixed cost is 22,000 and profit for 2017 is 8,000. So here you get 1,20,000 plus X is equal to 30,000. X is equal to 1,20,000 minus 30, which is 90,000. So the variable cost for 2017 17 is 90,000. Then for 2018, applying the same formula, we get 1,40,000 minus X. Variable cost we need to find, so I have taken it as X. Fixed cost remains same for both years, plus profit is 13,000. So here 1,40,000 minus X is equal to 35,000. So X is equal to 1,40,000 minus 35. So the answer is, the variable cost is 1,05,000. I think you have understood. Yes. We'll move on to the next problem. 2017. They've asked you this problem for 14 marks. So the details given again here. An industry reports the following information for 2 consecutive years. Particulars, sales and profit for 2 years are given. They've asked us to calculate the PV ratio. They've also asked us to calculate the fixed cost, break-even point in rupees, and so on. Okay. So this is the 11th problem, which is asked in 2017 for 14 marks. So the information given here is again for 2 years, that is 2016 and 2017, where they have said sales is 8,10,000 and 9 lakhs, and profit is 18,000 and 45,000. Okay. So what is the first thing they've asked you? They've asked you to calculate the PV ratio. So we know the formula here is change in profit divided by change in sales into 100. So here change in profit. So change in profit is 45,000 minus 18,000. You get 45,000 minus 18,000 divided by 9 lakhs minus 8,10,000 into 100. So here 45,000 minus 18,000, you get 27,000 divided by 90,000 into 100. So your PV is 30%. Okay. The second thing is asked us to find out the fixed cost, which is very important. See, whenever they ask you fixed cost, directly take this formula, sales into PV ratio minus profit. So what is the sales? You can take any of the year, either for 2016 or 2017. We will take for 2017, where the sales is 9 lakhs into the PV ratio is 30% minus the profit for 2017 is 45. So here make a note of it. If you are taking sales for 2016, then you have to take the profit of 2016 only. Now here we have taken 2017 as 9 lakhs, so I have taken the profit as 45,000. So 30% of 9 lakhs is 2,70,000 minus 45,000, which gives you the answer as 2,25,000. So this is your fixed cost. Okay. The third thing they have asked you to calculate is the BEP, or what we can say A, B and C. BEP. BEP again, they have asked you to calculate in rupees. Mentioned it as rupees, so we will not work for units. We will directly go for rupees. So the formula is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So fixed cost, we just now found it as 2,25,000 divided by PV ratio. PV ratio is 30%. So you get a BEP in rupees as 2,25,000 divided by 30%. It is rupees 7,50,000. D. They have asked you to find sales when the profit is 3 lakhs. When the profit is 3 lakhs. So formula, sales is equal to fixed cost plus desired profits divided by PV ratio. The fixed cost is 2,25,000. Plus profit is already given as 3 lakhs. The PV ratio is 30%. We need to find the sales. So sales is equal to 5,25,000 divided by 30%. So when we divide this, you get here it is, the profit is 30,000. Okay, so then you get 2,25,000 plus 30,000 will be 2,55,000 divided by 30%. You get the answer as 8,50,000. So the meaning here is, if you have to earn a profit of 30,000, you need to make a sales of 8,50,000. Then E, they have asked you to calculate the margin of safety, MOS, profit divided by PV ratio. So they have asked you to calculate the MOS when the profit is 72,000. So MOS when profit is 72,000. So profit, we have to take it as 72,000. PV ratio is 30%. So you get the answer as rupees 2,40,000. So your margin of safety is 2,40,000 when the profit is given as 72,000. The last thing they have asked us to calculate is profit when sales is 10 lakhs. Okay, F, profit we need to find when sales is 10 lakhs. Okay, again the formula is sales is equal to fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. So sales is 10 lakhs, I'm writing it down here. Fixed cost is 2,25,000. We need to find the profits. I'm taking that as X divided by PV ratio is 30%. So 10 lakhs into 30% when we cross multiply is equal to 2,25,000 plus X. So 30% of 10 lakhs is 3 lakhs is equal to 2,25,000 plus X. So X is equal to 3 lakhs minus 2,25,000. So X is 75,000. So what is X? X is nothing but profit. Profit is 75,000 rupees. So the meaning here is, when the sales is 10 lakhs, your profit is 75,000. Think it's clear? Now we'll move on to problem number 12. Okay, now we'll move on to problem number 12, which is asked for 6 marks. This is problem number 12. It is asked in the paper 2019 for 6 marks. Okay, let us look at the question. From the following, information, calculate the PV ratio, BEP in units and rupees, then new BEP when they have asked you to calculate both in units and in sales value when the selling price is reduced to 20%. So the details given to work this problem are selling price, they have given it as 20 rupees per unit, then variable cost 12 rupees per unit, fixed cost rupees 4,000. So first thing they've asked you to calculate is the PV ratio. So what is the formula for PV ratio? Contribution divided by sales into 100. So contribution, you can also write it as selling price minus variable cost, S minus V, divided by S into 100. So S is 20 rupees, variable cost is 12 into 100, so which is 8 divided by 20 into 100. You get the PV ratio as 40%. Then the second thing he has asked you to find is the BEP in units. So BEP in units is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. So fixed cost they have given you as 4,000. Contribution per unit is 20 minus 12. You've got it as 8 per unit. So 40,000 divided by 8. The number of units under BEP is 500 units. So they've asked you to calculate BEP in rupees also. So you can work directly as fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So fixed cost is 4,000 and PV ratio is 40%. So you get the answer as rupees 10,000. Rupees 10,000. Okay. Now coming to the next point here, that is one, they have asked you to find the PV ratio. B, they have asked you to find BEP in rupees and in units. And C, they have asked you to find, okay, they have asked you to calculate the new BEP if the selling price is reduced by 20%. Okay, so what is the selling price? It is 20 rupees. They have asked us to reduce, so let us reduce 20% of 20 rupees, which is 4 rupees. So your new selling price is 16 rupees. Okay, so we will calculate the PV ratio so that it's easy for us to do. So contribution divided by sales into 100. So here contribution is S minus V divided by S into 100. So S is 16. V will remain same, 12 divided by 16 into 100. So your new PV will be 25%. Okay. With this help of it, we will find BEP in units first. So what is BEP in units? Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Fixed cost is 4,000. Contribution per unit is 16 minus 12, which is 4. So the number of units under new selling price is 1,000 units. Then if you have to find it in rupees, you can do in both the methods. One is fixed cost divided by PV ratio. Fixed cost is 4,000 divided by PV ratio. The new PV ratio is 25%. So you get the answer as 16,000 rupees. Or we can multiply. What is BEP in rupees? BEP in units into selling price per unit. You can also use this formula. BEP in units, you got it as 1,000 units into selling price per unit. The new selling price is 16. So you get the answer as 16,000. Both the methods, any one method you can use, whichever is convenient to you. Now we'll start with problem number 30 for 6 marks, and this is problem number 30 which we are working. Okay, so the information given, let us write it down. Selling price is 200 rupees per unit. Variable cost is rupees 160 per unit. Fixed cost he has given you as rupees 6 lakhs. So with this information he has asked you to calculate first the BEP in units. Okay, for BEP in units we need fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Contribution per unit. To find the contribution, fixed cost is given as 6 lakhs. We know that contribution is selling price minus variable cost. So 200 minus 160, which is 6 lakhs divided by 40, which comes up to 15,000 units. When we talk about, okay, this is what he has asked you to find. The first one, BEP in units, and he's also asked you to calculate BEP in rupees. See, BEP in rupees is fixed cost divided by PV ratio, or you can also work it out like break-even point in units into selling price per unit. So it will work both the ways. So PV ratio, you know, it is contribution divided by sales into 100. So when we calculate contribution divided by sales into 100, that is 40 divided by 200 into 100, that is, see, contribution is 40. See, 200 minus 160 is 40 divided by selling price is 200 into 100. You get the PV ratio as 20%. So fixed cost they have given you as 6 lakhs divided by 20%. You get the answer BEP in rupees as 30 lakhs. Rupees 30 lakhs. Let us check now here. For BEP in units, we got the answer as 15,000 units into selling price per unit is 200. So when we multiply these two, we again get the answer as rupees 30 lakhs, which means we can apply any of the formula. Either you can take fixed cost divided by PV ratio, or you can either find out the answer by multiplying the BEP units into selling price per unit. So the second question what he has asked you here is, the first one was BEP in units, and the second one what he has asked you, or what he has asked you is to find the selling price per unit. Selling price per unit if the BEP is brought down, if BEP is brought down to brought down to 8,000 units. Okay, so here see the BEP units is 15,000. So he is asking us to find if the BEP units is brought down to 8,000, what would be your selling price? So we will work because he is given you BEP in units, we will take that formula only. So what is the formula for BEP units? BEP in units is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Okay, so BEP units, okay, because they have asked us to find the selling price, we will take it separately. So what is contribution? Selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So BEP units given to us is 8,000 units. Fixed cost is 6 lakhs divided by selling price we have to calculate minus what is the variable cost 160 per unit. Okay, so see here selling price per unit if the BEP is brought out 8,000 units. So BEP units is given, so we will work it out through that only. BEP units is equal to fixed cost divided by selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So selling price per unit is 8,000 units and fixed cost is 6 lakhs rupees. Contribution is nothing but selling price minus variable cost per unit. So selling price I am taking it as X because we need to calculate the selling price minus the variable cost per unit is 160 per unit. Now let us cross multiply. You get 8,000 into X minus 160 is equal to 6 lakhs. So 8 into X, you will get it as 8x minus 8,000 into 160, you get as 12 lakh 80,000 is equal to 6 lakhs. Okay, so 8,000x is equal to 12 lakh 80,000 minus 6 lakhs. So you get 8,000x is equal to 6. So when 12 lakh 80,000 goes to the other side, it becomes plus. So your answer is 18 lakh 80,000. So X is equal to 18 lakh 80,000 divided by 8,000. So your answer is rupees 235. That means the selling price per unit is 235 rupees if your BEP is brought to 8,000. Okay. So sometimes they may ask you this type of a question, so have a careful look at it. Okay. There is a 6 marks question asked in the year 2018. We'll move on to the next problem. Again, a 6 marks question which is asked in the year 2017. Problem number 14, where the question is, okay, problem number 14 asked in the year 2017 for 6 months. A firm has produced and sold 20,000 units during the year 2016. The selling price was rupees 50 per unit and the cost details are given as below. Okay, here they have given you direct materials rupees 6 per unit, direct labor rupees 6 per unit, then variable overheads rupees 3 per unit, fixed expenses as rupees 3,50,000. Prepare a marginal cost statement. They have asked you to prepare a marginal cost statement to show the profit or loss for the year and also to find the BEP. Okay, first let us prepare the statement of marginal cost. The statement of marginal cost is like this. First you have to take the sales. So how many units he says that the number of units during the year is 20,000 units, and he says the rate per unit is 50 per unit. So when you multiply, you get as 10 lakhs. This is the sales. So how have we arrived at the sales? 20,000 units which is given in the problem plus selling price per unit is 50. So when we multiply, you get rupees 10 lakhs. So from this we have to reduce the variable cost. Now variable cost we have direct material, direct labor and variable. So we have to find out. So first let us take the direct material, 20,000 units into 6 per unit. You get the answer. Okay, we will do it later. Otherwise, or we can also do it together. Like all we can do is, so material 6 rupees per unit, direct labor 6 rupees per unit, variable overheads 3 per unit. So when you total all this, you get it as 15 rupees per unit. So total variable cost will be 20,000 units into rupees 15 per unit. So which comes up to 3 lakhs. 3 lakhs. So 10 lakh minus 3 lakhs is 7 lakhs, which is the contribution. Okay. From contribution we have to minus the fixed cost. So what is the fixed cost given? 3,50,000. So from 7 lakhs, when you deduct 3,50,000, you get a profit of 3,50,000. So the question is, what is the profit? Okay. By preparing a marginal cost statement. So this is the marginal cost statement. The profit is 3,50,000. It is also asked you to calculate the BEP. So BEP in units, fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Fixed cost is 3,50,000 and contribution per unit 50. That is selling price here is 50 rupees per unit and variable cost we calculated it is 15 rupees per unit. So 3,50,000 divided by 35 rupees, you get the answer as 10,000 units. Then he has not told us whether we have to calculate in units or rupees. He has just asked us to calculate the BEP. So I have worked both BEP in units as well as BEP in rupees. So BEP in rupees, the formula is fixed cost divided by a PV ratio, or we can directly do, because we already have the units and we also know the rate per unit. So break-even point in units into selling price per unit. So break-even point in units we have calculated as 10,000 units into selling price is rupees 50 per unit. So you get the break-even in rupees or in sales value as 5 lakh rupees. I think it's clear.